I wanted to touch base on that TikTok I did a couple of days ago about not being able to express your needs. Um, I have been really giving myself some time to myself and feeling what I'm feeling. And I came across this app called Liven, Liven. And I've already gotten through 3 days of lessons. And it has helped me a lot recognize why I am the way I am. And I wanted to just speak on it because I just wanted to get off my chest and I feel comfortable talking to you guys. Okay. You guys are a huge support system for me and I need that right now. But, why I am the way I am is it comes from so many different things. And I'm not sitting here putting the blame on anything or anybody. We chose this life. We chose to get here and learn the lessons that we're learning, okay? And I do believe in the whole generational thing as well. Like, my mom and dad did the best they could based on how they were taught. And I know that each generation tries to get better because they don't want their lives to be like their previous one, like how they were raised. You want it better. But I totally believe that I am here. I am the one who is breaking the generational curses in my family, okay? I will speak my truth. I will no longer keep it quiet. Okay. Again, I am not putting the blame on anybody. This is a generational thing. Okay. So I have what they like to call daddy issues. And it's something that I didn't recognize until I did ayahuasca for the first time. And in the last 5 years, I have worked a lot on myself, but there's a lot of me that I have not even touched on because it's scary. And you have to go through the emotions. Okay. And a lot of people don't want to go through the emotions. And a lot of people take on alcohol or really heavy drugs to cover up what they're trying not to feel. Okay. And just talking about this, I'm shaking. Okay. I am shaking. But my father left when I was 4 years old. Him and my mom split because why? He was an alcoholic. He was a womanizer. He was not a nice man sometimes. Okay. I have a memory of him not being a nice man. He was physical with my mother. Knowing all of these things, he was still my father. And I looked up to him. I was 4. And I loved this man. He was really tall. He was a cop. He wore these aviators. I have really good memories with this man. Okay. I'm not going to cry. But I understand why we split, right? Well, the last memory I have of him when I was that little was me and my brother were sitting at a table playing, and him and my mom were behind us or in the room with us, and my mom's crying. And I remember him saying, "You can have the silverware." And then he kissed me bye and held me, and then he was gone forever. Okay. And I wasn't allowed to talk about him because everybody hated him. Okay. And I understand. I totally understand. But I could never talk about him. I could never ask about him. Okay. There's a few times he resurfaced when I was older. He came back when I was in 4th grade. He remarried. I had 2 brothers. I have 2 half brothers. I don't know. I have an older sister that I don't know because he was married 3 times. But I was never allowed to talk about him. And then my stepdad came into the picture. And I don't like to call him my stepdad because him and my sister, the only steps that were in our house was into my mom and dad's bedroom. We did not use the stepdad. But again, my father was my father. Okay. And I loved him. I did. But he was gone. And my stepdad, he was amazing. Oh God, Keith was amazing. But he still wasn't my father. I didn't have that. That man was gone for years, and then Keith came in later. So there's this whole gap that there was only 2 men in my life that were steady, and that was my grandfather and my uncle. And my uncle was amazing. I can't remember nothing but love from him. But my granddaddy, I was not his favorite person because I looked too much like my mother. And if he was that ugly to me, I could only imagine how ugly he was to my mom. I was not his favorite, so I was told up until he transitioned that I was the fat and the ugly one. I was just like my mama. But my sister was beautiful. So I had that I remember that as early as being in church on a pew, him telling me that. But I'm not that little girl. You all say that I'm beautiful. And I'm starting to see it. I can't see what you guys see. And there's reasons for it. And there's reasons that I get attached to people, especially in my partners. And it's not fair because I've never worked through that. But this is day one of me talking it out with you guys, okay? And I'm going to do some journaling, and there's things I'm going to do on my end. But I need your help, okay? I need you to be my support system. And I'm speaking my truth. But let's fast forward to my son. I never spoke against his father. Until Jesse was old enough that I could talk to him about it, then I would speak a little bit. Like, I always told him it wasn't that his father didn't love him. He just wasn't ready to be a daddy. There's a difference. So he didn't have a father like I didn't have a father. It was like a repeat. But I know that he will always be in his kid's life, my son. He'll probably be one of the best dads you'll ever meet. But I had to go through what I had to go through, and he had to go through what he had to go through to be the best dad he could be. Because he will be. But that's just the start of what I've recognized. Ayahuasca did help me, but I never dealt with it. I have to heal that little girl every single day. And then we got to get to the teenage part. But you start with that little bitty girl. And if you've made it this far with me, thank you. Thank you for letting me be me. And I'll give it to you guys just like this. This is not going to be easy, but it's going to be so much better for me and my spirit and then the people who are in my life. Because it's not fair for anybody if I can't speak my truth and speak my needs. And if they don't like that, then they're not supposed to be there. Okay, because anybody in my world needs to understand that I want to better myself more every day. And I want to heal this little girl every day. Because I didn't come here to hold on to this. I chose this, and I have to heal from this. And I'm happy. I am, but I can be happier. But I gotta let go of some shit, man. And it starts with you. And if you've made it this far, give me a thumbs up and tell me that you love me, because I love you. And if I can do it, you can too, okay? I love you.